bukan cakap aku ni keras kepala. I always believe that if aku mau barang itu, I will do it. But if aku nak mau, then indah tu. I made a call to a cousin di Long Sumping. Dia kata, bang, ada orang jual skuter kah? Ganya pasal mendengar cakap orang, then diri yang jadi sesalan.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome back to Senimerge podcast. Okay, untuk guest hari ini, someone yang aku bangga lah. Bukan bangga pasal kami related, but more to pasal dia punya mindset aneh. Every time aku bercerita kah semaya, bercall kah semaya, there will be macam ada aha moment atau yangnya, kenapa kau ni genius benar-benaran ya? Tapi benar-benar dia punya marketing strategi ataupun dia punya marketing mindset atau bagiku genius lah. Mana ada orang jual kereta tapi buat music video, nada lah. Tapi macam mana yang memarketkan dirinya tu is very very genius. So this guy, he's one of the top sales of Mercedes Brunei. Pun mau batah-batah lagi buang masa, I just want to welcome Mr. Azim Ghani. Welcome.
Hello Mahfiz, Assalamualaikum.
Welcome. Waalaikumsalam.
Thanks for having me here.
Okay, no problem.
I believe this is your upcoming season for the next few months. I know it's been really hard to get me to sit here.
Benar.
Tapi finally, alhamdulillah.
Thank you so much for your time.
No worries.
I know you're a busy person. Brabis.
Mesti. Because it's been long overdue.
Yeah. Sebenarnya aku kan cuba dapatkan ni dari first season sudah. And it's a special request from my wife. Bukan pasal apa, di mana-mana ada bahaya ni ada mukanya Yang ku benar-benar amazed is how do you make yourself stand out atau it's really really amazing. Dengan apa cara sekalipun you buat dirinya ni menonjol To the point that ada satu advertnya aku masih ingat sampai ni. Ia masukkan 3 barang dalam satu video, ia promote 3 barang dalam satu video and it's flawless. Remember that advert?
Oh yes.
Sekali masukkannya Mercedes. Sekali detailing.
And then the detailing center. Oh yes. And then I remember you reached out to me about it juga. Yeah, because I think with that, when we had a brainstorm with the team, I was like saying, okay, since we have a detailing center and we wanna, of course, showcase the product, which is Roach Out. Yang ku kan pakai kereta yang bukan Mercedes. So why not make it sekaligus lah.
Yep.
Put it in the Mercedes, shoot it in our detailing center, and of course to showcase the product, which is the Roach Out.
Yep. And then I remember kita ni call each other tengah hari. Makan Jollibee gitu. Jollibee the sponsor. So okay, I think the audience pun dah sabar kan menunggu macam mana your journey dari awal. Soalan yang selalu kami tanya, what is your first taste of business? If you can remember lah, dulu masa damit kah?
It's quite a long journey, I would say. Dari awalnya, maybe minat itu ada, tapi belum pernah terfikir macam, one day I will be an entrepreneur, or one day I will do business. Tapi when I was younger, I used to always ikut my cousins, my sisters, the family lah, kalau buat garage sale. So dari sana, whenever I see I have like old toys yang I don't really play, I would sell it during the garage sale tu.
Umur berapa ni? Ingat?
Not that young lah. Maybe I was already like in my late teens. Dia jual muda benar lah. And then dari sana macam jual-jual mainan ni kan, macam mainan-mainan lama. So macam siok jual walaupun 2-3 ringgit, kadang 10 ringgit, tapi once you see, money, you know that you can use it for something else. Tapi kadang-kadang macam sayang juga, macam sudah dipikir-pikir, mainan-mainan ni yang membeli is my parents. Sekali aku jual, duit itu aku pulang punya. But yeah, that's how I started lah. Dari jual-jual barang lama apa. Sekali, I think when I got really serious about doing business is when I started my career with Royal Brunei. So before I start sharing that journey, my career journey with RBA tu, maybe it's best to share the journey before that. So I went to school in Maktab SOAS. So I spent my 4 years in SOAS, dari form 2 sampai form 2, 3, 4, 5. So sampai form 5 lah. So I did my O levels. I can't remember what year it was. I think it was 2007.
Oh, Tanisa batch.
2007, yeah, 7 or 8 lah, but around there. So I did my O levels, and then when I got my results, it wasn't really that great. So, but I believe it was enough for me to get myself into technical school lah. Dulu we have MTSSR, and now I think they call it IBTE. Yeah. So I've always had interest in doing electrical engineering, you know, all this kind of engineering stuff lah. So when I got my results after my O levels, I sat down with my dad. I said, Pak, I think kan masuk technical school. Bahnya cuba tanya. So I did. I submitted my application, and then I think a couple of weeks after that, they got back to me saying that I wasn't able to enroll myself lah. Sekali macam biasalah, masih muda. I think I was 17, young, and then puah. So macam sedih macam, apa ni? Dah dapat, kan? Sekali my dad advised me, katanya, my dad and my mom lah, why don't you just resit for your exams, take your O levels lagi sekali, and see if you could, you know, get yourself into technical school after that. Tapi diri sudah macam marah, demotivated sudah sedikit. So I decided, no, I said, I think I'm not gonna carry forward with my studies. I'm gonna look for a job. And bear in mind I was 17 at the time. Sekali, after a few weeks, I was in a call with one of my relatives. Actually, I made a few calls, like friends, cousins, people I know. So it was this one cousin that I spoke to, and he said to me, Zim, I'm flying off to Australia. If you're looking for a job, maybe you can take my spot. I said, ya kah? But aku 17. Begitunya. Office-nya di atasnya. Ya bukannya, you're not gonna see, like, you're not gonna face customers or what. It's more of an office job lah. It's like back office, you know, you do some coding, sampai tu ini. I said, tapi bro, aku mana aku tahu ni all this coding stuff ni. Okay tu nya. You can sit for this job nya. There'll be training and all that nya, and it's very easy nya. Bahwa ambilnya my spot nya, because I think that time he was going to pursue his studies lah in Australia, I think for his degree. So I decided to take that job, and again, I left school. I was very young, and I took that offer. So when I sat for that interview, it was something really different for me, because I think it was my very, very first working interview lah. So I get to experience that at 17 years old, and it was somewhat like a not corporate company, tapi it was something that really opened up my eyes lah. So this company, they deal with ringback tones. So remember how you always have music, kalau call URANG ada lagu raya lah, and all that. So it's a company that does that for a telco company lah. So it was my first job, and I spent a good couple of months working there, because when I finally turned 18, my sister Felda, that time she was studying in UBD, and she was working part-time in Borneo Bulletin as a proofreader. Sekali, when I turned 18, my sister was like, Zim, since you're 18 now, why not you look for another job.
Oh.
Something that you can really apply
Yeah.
apply to.
Oh, so yang tu bukannya apply legally, macam orang bukannya register benar-benar register.
Well, because to be working in Brunei, you have to be obviously you have to be 18 to be legally working because companies need to pay you SCP.
Yeah.
So I think that time when I was working for that company at that 17 itu, I would just say it's more of a icebreaker lah, macam you know,
freelance lah.
Yeah, freelance. But I was working a 9 to 5 job di sana tu. And also speaking of being young. Obviously, my mama lah, in the happy ni with the idea that I was working because katanya, kau masih mudanya, 17, and then berhenti sekolahnya, and then akan kerja, where orang lainnya, your friends, they are still
menyambung sekolah.
Ni bukan cakap aku ni keras kepala, tapi I always believe that if aku mau barang itu, I will do it. But if aku nak mau, then indah itu. Tapi yang bagusnya juga, alhamdulillah lah, I've always been a person yang indah mudah give up. So kalau aku sudah set, okay, that is my goal, I will work for it. But if it fails, forget it, buat something else. But I will never stop. Cuma itulah. So, being young, again, and my mom not liking the idea that I was not continuing my studies at all. Diorang cakapnya, kalau kau kerjanya, mama nak mau hantarnya. But my dad, my dad, very neutral lah. My dad ni very macam, he's supportive, tapi jenis yang macam, if that's what you want, you can go ahead. But my mom never liked the idea lah. So, tanyanya, Pirohnya, nador ni orang hantar kau kerajanya. So berfikir ni macam mana? At one point, ada pernah because at that time I was staying in Jalan Muara. So going to my office yang where I was working it's actually just a straight road lah from Jalan Muara all the way to Melabau. So kira straight lah tah.
Jauh pulang tah.
Jauh pulang. Sekali aku macam mana ni aku. But I decided, okay, today I'm going to take the bus. So I walked from my house all the way keluar simpang and menunggu bus lah. And then that time lagi macam kuno kan, macam nombor berapa ni ya?
Tapi di bawahnya ke bandar tu.
Ayatah. So what I did was every time I stop a bus, aku tanya, Tuan, ani bus ni ke mana? Ani ke bandarnya. Aku mau yang yang turunnya kira ke Selusup. Hanya nombor tu nya ada begitu lah. So tunggu. So paksa macam tu. Every time ada bus stop tanya. I think ngalih kali orang macam berhenti siring anak ni jo naiknya. But and then until I finally found the right number, then aku jalan, tapi time tu sudah masuk bas satu, nervous lah. Aku kalau dibawanya ke bandar, habis ni yang duit lagi berapa ringgit kena. Sekali sampai tu juga ke Selusup sampai ke Selusup, turun, I think dekat masjid kali tu. There's a bus stop there yang across Teguh Raya tu. So berjalan kaki ke office. And then cuma tu that's the daily routine lah. Until I got my first salary with this company I think my gaji that time they paid me about 450 or 500 lah cuma tu 500 kali. So I saved up that first gaji. And then again, being me, I like to make calls to friends, cousins and all. I made a call to a cousin in Ong Sumping. Yang ko, bang, ada orang jual skuter kah?
Ini masih lagi 17 dia.
Masih 17. And then adanya ada sianu-sianunya ada dia jualnya. Tapi nya pulangnya buruk pulangnya. Need some fixing lah. Said, mana saja tah said, because I need to use it for work. So membali tah jual skuter ni, membali. And then dari sana tah pendekkan cerita pasal skuter ni, usai sedikit, and then after that, the means of transport lah tu. For the next couple of months, I was working with this company ni. But again, my mom, of course, was not happy with it. Sudah berhenti sekolah. And then muda lagi. And then kan berskuter lagi.
Kan jadi apa?
Tapi benar lah. I wouldn't say that was the struggle. I know. I wasn't supposed to, be riding, at that age. Tapi the will tu bah, the will kan mau
Bekerja,
kerja tu,
betul. Dapat duit, betul.
dapat duit, apa kan? Then after that, when I turned 18, my sister, back to cerita tadi lah. Yang my sister ni nya, Azim nya, since you're 18 sudahnya, why don't you try applying for Border Bulletin nya? They have an opening soon for a reporter position, which is a journalist lah. Said, okay, macam siok je ni. And then that time, it wasn't about like what I want to do in life. It's more about if the pay is higher, why not? And I get to experience something new kan? So apply tah jua. Apply, then set for the interview, and alhamdulillah I got it.
Alhamdulillah.
I got the job. And then my batch at that time, yang masuk sama-sama myself lah di Border Bulletin itu, one of my colleague itu, who also masuk at the same time as me, he was an ex-crew. He was an ex-crew. So when we got into Border Bulletin, I was from this company and he was from RBA. So we got into Border Bulletin the same time. Sekali kerja, and then I experienced what it's like to be a journalist. And then I write quite a lot of stories throughout my time in BB. They even sent me for a working travel to Labuan. Siok. It was a very, very good experience. And then dari sana tah, I learned a bit of photography because as a journalist, you need to write stories, you need to take pictures. And then with my colleague ane, yang ex-RB ane, di sana tah Jo bertanya-tanya macam, bro, kenapa kau berhenti I've always wanted to become a flight attendant because I have relatives, I have cousins yang working in RBA. Dan katanya, siok tu nya, kerja as a flight attendant ni sioknya. Tapi for me nya, I have my own reasons lah katanya kan. So malah tanya-tanya macam kan mau tahu macam mana how to apply, how do I become one, and then lepas 9 bulan kerja di Border Bulletin ni. Dan semana-mana, one day flipping through the pages of the newspaper, nampak tak ada advertisement. Walk-in interview, cabin crew. Ada pembukaan dah. So I went up to my colleague ni, said, bro, I said, ni ada walk-in interview. Nyabah apa lagi nya? Apply tanya. Said, baru jok tadi cakap pasal perangan dia tu banyak apply tanya. Sekali, aku fikir-fikir, baru jok aku kerja di Border Bulletin ni like 9 bulan. And then kan berhenti kan mencuba lagi barang lain. But of course lah, macam it's, when there's opportunities, and if it's something that you want to try, you try. So that's what I did. I went for the walk-in interview, and then I can't really remember because this was sometime in 2009. Went to the walk-in interview. There was like quite a lot of people lah yang came for that interview tu. And then, alhamdulillah, I got shortlisted for the next round. And then, selepas itu, I can't really remember, to be honest, Mahfiz. Tapi, kesudahannya dapatlah kerja tu. Dapat kerja tu. So, I started my journey with our flagship carrier, Royal Brunei Airlines, in 2009. We went through quite what do you call this? The training was 3 months, and it was very, very challenging because you have to sit for so many exams. You have to fly to Singapore to do door training towards the end of your what do you call this? Towards the end of your training atau. And then walaupun tah you already sit for 3 months training it doesn't mean that you get the job. Yes. So there are exams that you need to score an average what do you call this number lah. So if you don't meet the requirements atau no matter you sit for your training for 3 months atau you will be terminated. Yeah, so it's really not something yang senang lah. Yeah, so Alhamdulillah, we got through. We got through the training for 3 months atau, and then I started flying. And then dari sana I spent my next 2 years with Royal Brunei Airlines. Although in total, I actually spent about almost 11 years with the airline. Tapi I actually took a break. So why I mentioned tadi 2 tahun itu. So masa 2 tahun flying actually it was a good journey for me. Pasalnya, if I can share lah, when you join Royal Brunei, of course you start off as a junior crew. And then after junior crew, you become a galley. After galley, you become junior crew, you become business class crew. And then after business class crew, you become a galley. After galley, you become leading, and then after that CSO. So CSO ni basically the highest position dalam kapal lah. Leading and galleys ni, they mostly work in the cabin. They prepare meals. Galley, same thing, but they also need to go out to serve customers lah, to serve our airline customers. And then business class crew, basically you will be serving in the business class. So in order to get yourself selected or promoted into business class crew, you have to be working for at least 2 years. And for us in our batch 113, Alhamdulillah, selepas 6 bulan kami flying, a few of us got selected to be promoted as a business class crew, which never happened in the history of RBA. Yes.
Masya Allah.
Masya Allah, Alhamdulillah. So kami terkajut. In our batch itu, there's a few orang lah yang kena pilih. And a batch after us, 114. Dorang pun ada some got selected. So we were quite happy, we were shocked at the same time. But happy lah, pasalnya okay, that means we've been doing a very, very good job. Because again, there was never in the history of RBA that some apa namanya ni?
Kamu yang the first one.
Kami the first one yang actually got selected in just 6 months.
6 months.
6 months.
Wow.
Alhamdulillah. So we went for another training after that, after 6 months atau, for our cabin services in business class punya service lah. So training, and then after that, we got back into flying and we were working as a business class crew. Okay, now, so when I said tadi I took a break atau, selepas 2 tahun, again, still young, I was, in my teens, 19, cuma baru lagi 20.
Oh, belum
baru lagi 20.
Okay.
Sekali, biasalah macam dengar cakap orang, kenapa anda kerja government, macam tu. Government, there's more security and all that. So, terpengaruh tak juga. Macam, benar juga, like, kalau aku kerja sini, it's a good job sudah sebenarnya. Tapi, again, dengar cakap orang, okay lah. Bukan cubalah masuk askar.
Sampai?
Sampai. Sampai.
Okay.
Tapi dah habis.
Okay.
So, lepas 2 tahun itu, I enrolled for the army. Sekali biasalah. And then, antar borang apa itu ini, time itu masih kerja lah. At the same time, antar borang apa itu ini, went for the pre stages of dapatnan ya. So berlari, swimming and all that. Then ada interview. That time my interview was at Rimba. It was the apa namanya, arah MP punya military police punya.
Is it yang hampir arah tempat
bunga, tempat orang jual bunga, sana. So that's where I sat for my final interview before I went for my 2 weeks holding di Tutong.
Okay.
So kiranya kalau habis training hari itu, I would be stationed di MP lah tu kiranya lah. So berhenti RB, masuk askar, set for my 2 weeks holding di Tutong. Tapi pasal 1 week di sana tu,
Uh-huh.
Alhamdulillah lah, merasalah jua macam mana rasanya kan dia sekarang tu. And di sana tah jua, it open up my eyes.
Yep.
It open up my eyes yang sebenarnya barang-barang macam mana ni kita ni mesti bersyukur.
Yeah.
Di sana tah it really taught me a lesson lah. Macam okay, aku berhenti kerja sedangkan aku sudah bekerja. And what I was receiving di RBA tu, kalau kan dipikirkan, alhamdulillah apa sudah. Alhamdulillah sudah
Yeah. 18 lagi kan.
18 and then I get to travel, I get to see the world. Kenapa aku cuma ni yang gua? I'm not saying that it wasn't a good choice for me to Ganya ya tentu bah macam ganya pasal mendengar cakap orang. And then diri yang jadi sesalan macam tu kan. So seminggu-minggu tu macam kena suruh berbaris, kena suruh merunggau ni macam ni. Rasa ni macam ya Allah, bila kan keluar dari sini.
Siapa-siapa yang pernah masuk askar faham lah ni.
Faham. Ya, ada orang neraka hijau. So, merasa tak?
Yep.
Merasa sekali malam-malam tidurnya, kami lagi tidur mana bertantu tu.
Yep.
Kadang pukul 3 kena bangun ni, kena suruh berbaris.
Baik nak panding tu.
Awal-awal tu it was like a culture shock pulang lah. Sebelumnya belayar sana sini, beli barang, shopping, datang kena rigging. But it was a culture shock lah, but it was good. Like I said, membagi pengajaran yang benar-benar bermakna lah for me. Walaupun I don't get to finish the whole training atau, but it really opened up my eyes lah. Untuk sentiasa bersyukur with what you already have.
That's the key.
So, So, lepas 2 minggu, kami ada keluar dari camp. So, keluar camp, biasanya, I'm not sure how it works now lah, but dulu keluar camp 3 hari, weekend lah tu keluar weekend, and then before you go back to Tong, you have to sign. So that final signature tu, ia sudah yang akan mengkonfirmkan yang you are now benar-benar dalam askar, mau untuk sit for this training, and there's no backing out. Yeah, so 2 minggu tu is more of a like holding pengenalan lah. Pengenalan. So ceritanya lepas 2 minggu tu memanglah gaib. Dia datang. Gaib lah tu, dia datang. And then sampai kena call ni. Kena call. Azimnya. Kau ada di Penanjung ni. Dia mau yang ku. Dia mau. So, pendekkan cerita, dia menyambung lah, pisah. Dia menyambung. Nah, di sana tah lagi perjalanan hidupku tu membagi pengajaran yang benar-benar bermakna bagiku. Pasalnya ia jua aku that time because I was already working with RBA for 2 years and obviously I already had commitments. I had kereta to pay for, I had commitments with the bank, and then sudah tah berhenti kerja, and then Indah lagi menyambung askar, meaning to say I have commitments that I definitely cannot afford to pay for. So, for the next 3 months atau, I was, dia jangan cakap depressed tapi anulah, I felt that I was a failure lah. Yeah. Tapi, dia aku give up first. Dia aku give up. Alhamdulillah jua, my dad was there to support me in terms of macam helping me to pay up for my car. To pay up for my commitments that time. And I had a nazar lah macam yang kalau aku kerja balik, I would definitely pay back whatever I owed him lah. And that time, I was already seeing someone, my girlfriend lah tu. Alhamdulillah, she's my wife now.
Alhamdulillah.
She was studying in the UK. So, ia tah yang menolong ni jua. Macam, dari mana-mana, ia mengantar-gantar CV ku to many different companies, mengantar-gantar sampai aku pun dah tahu.
Di luar ke di Brunei?
Di luar. I mean di Brunei, from UK ni she asked for my CV, she said, "You know what? I'll help you." So ya antar. And then I got a call one day from Standard Chartered. Nyangkut. I answered the phone lah. Said, hi Azim, Ane. I'm Ane from Standard Chartered. You submitted your resume and we want to interview you. Sekali, I went with the flow, like cakap. Tapi lepas hang up the phone, nyangkut, bila aku apply Standard Chartered tadi nyangkut. Sekali I told my girlfriend, did you adukah nyangkut? Did you send my CV to? Oh yeah, I actually sent to a lot now. So I can't remember. But yeah, SCB was one of them. So I sat for the interview and I got the job. Alhamdulillah. After 3 months tu bekerja. So I took the job. I took the offer with Standard Chartered, and I was working with them as a personal financial consultant di bandar. That time they still have the branch. So I was working there for 3 months. Now, Alhamdulillah lagi, Fes, rezeki tu dah kali jua. Selepas 3 bulan, RBA call balik. RBA call and said, Zim, we heard you dah jadi masuk askar. We have an opening ni for ex-crew who wishes to join us back. Yeah. Sekali, Fes, apa lagi? Harus ku packing, pack up. Cuma tu dan I reapplied to rejoin RBA.
Alhamdulillah.
Dan dari sana I continued my journey flying as a cabin crew. And I enjoyed it. And at the same time, when I was working with RBA tu, because kami kadang-kadang kami ada free time lah when we are not flying. I did a sideline with Mixed Media Works and Magic Media. Their office is based in Kulap. Back then. So di sana
I remember.
Regent Square.
Yeah.
Dari sana ada jual belajar sedikit sebanyak tentang marketing, sales di sana lah. But if you ask me tadi macam dari mana start macam minat untuk berbisnes ni, okay, dari awalnya tadi from selling my old toys, old bajus and all that to my times in RBA, because when I was in RBA I also started selling macam kain, perfume, makeup. Tapi barang-barang ni sebenarnya Fiz, menjual-jual ni lah sebenarnya ia ada sebabnya. There is a sebab to why I always strive to look for more. That time when I was in RBA, of course, the mission was because I wanted to save enough, because I wanted to get married.
Yes.
So kalau sekiranya you sangkutkan to something yang ada goal, the drive will always be there. So because the goal was that, I constantly try to find ways to make more lah. To save up apa.
Yang mereka mampu dulu ni. So maybe right now kita kan makin panas dah. Tapi kita ni kan sambung benda ni di part 2. Kita ni akan berehat sekejap. Boleh ha?
Boleh.
Alright, see you guys in part 2.